Hi children. First of all, I just want to say a big well done to all of you for last week's work. I know that myself and the other staff in Foundation loved seeing all of your photographs and videos on Tapestry and email, and we are very, very proud of you. So well done, keep up the hard work, okay? Now, this week we are looking at the signs of spring, and I know that we are well into spring, and we've already seen the blossom on the trees. But I want to show you some changes that I've noticed in my garden recently. Okay, and I've got a few photographs here. First of all, I've got a close-up of my pear tree, and I've got a branch here, and if you can see, there are some little pears beginning to grow. Now they're very tiny at the moment, but in a few months' time they will be big enough to eat, and they are always delicious. I've also got here a photo of my apple tree, and not long ago there was lots of blossom on this tree, but now look, it's covered in leaves. And I did have a good look around to see if I could find the beginnings of some apples starting to grow, but there's none on there yet. But it won't be long, because normally there are hundreds of apples on this tree. So we have lots of apple pies and apple crumbles. Also, I have got a blueberry bush, and my daughter loves this because she loves blueberries. And if you can see, they're beginning to grow here. They're very small at the moment, so they're not ready, but it won't be long. And then I want to show you my favourite bush, because this bush always flowers in spring. And can you see the beautiful dark red flowers against the yellow leaves? It looks absolutely beautiful. Now, I wonder what you could find in your garden or when you go out for walks. Can you see any more changes happening? And I'm sure that we will love seeing all of the photographs if you do take some. Now, carrying on with this week's learning, it's all about what happens in spring with the animals. And we all know that lots of animals have babies during springtime, like sheep have lambs, and cows have calves, and pigs have piglets. So we are going to be doing lots of activities to do with baby animals. And the first one that I'm going to look at today is the frog life cycle. And I've got a lovely photograph here that Jack from my class sent me, that he saw, and he took a photograph of it because he was really excited to see this. And you could see frog spawn here. Can you see frog spawn? And he was very excited about seeing this. So first of all, we are going to think about the frog life cycle. And as you know, the first thing is the frog spawn here. So I've got it here. Can you see? Now, don't worry if you haven't got a printer and you can't print out a picture of it. You can draw it, because if you see on the home learning grid, I've given you examples of other children's work. So I'm just going to stick that here. Can you see? And then the frog spawn, then these hatch, and they then become... Do you know what these are? tadpoles. So in each of these, this is a little tadpole. So I'm going to put that there, okay? And then, because it is a cycle, I'm just going to put an arrow there, okay? And then the tadpole develops into a froglet, and a froglet looks like this because it grows little legs and arms, and can you see the long tail? But it's still very, very small. Okay, so that's the next one. So I'm going to put that there. And then I'm also going to do an arrow. Okay. Now, the froglet now then grows and it gets bigger, and the tail then disappears. Now, it doesn't fall off, it disappears into its body. And it gets bigger, and then it looks like this, a frog. I'm just going to put it here, okay? So if you can see, it is a cycle. So it's frog spawn into tadpole, then we've got the froglet, then we've got the frog, and then it happens again. The frog then lays eggs, the frog spawn, and it happens again and again, and that's why it's called a life cycle. Okay? Another thing that is on the home learning grid is all about the ugly duckling, and I know that you know this story. It's about this duck, and she lays some eggs, and one egg looks a little bit different, doesn't it? It looks bigger than the rest, and when the eggs hatch, what comes out of that big egg is different to all of the other ones, and they just don't know what to do. They are really puzzled, and they don't treat this duckling the same because they think it looks a little bit ugly, and that's why they call it the ugly duckling. Now, it's not very nice to call anybody that, is it? Because everyone is different, and that's what makes us special and unique. And we need to be kind and caring to everybody, don't we? Just because we're a little bit different from everybody else, that doesn't matter. But we know that in the story, there's a happy ending, because the ugly duckling does find out where it belongs. And I've got another photograph from Jack in my class, and he sent this lovely photo of two swans, and they've got their babies here. Maybe one of these is the ugly duckling. Now, do you know what a baby swan is called? If you said cygnet, you were right. Well done. That's a tricky one. But can you see, don't they look so cute? But they're going to grow up to look like these beautiful swans here. But I actually still think that they look very, very lovely. Okay, so I hope that you enjoy that story and doing some writing about it, because in your writing you are going to be thinking about how the ugly duckling feels. And we know that he must be feeling sad because he's lonely, he's got no one to play with, he must feel isolated. And can you think of any other words that you can think of to describe how the ugly duckling is feeling? because in your writing you are going to write a sentence about it. But we know at the end he's not sad, is he? Which is good. So that is some of your writing for this week. Something else that you are going to do is you're going to do a combination of art and maths. And you are going to make a butterfly. But this is a very special butterfly because we are going to make sure that it is symmetrical. Now, what symmetrical means, that's quite a big word, isn't it? What symmetrical means is that they are both the same on either side. So this side is exactly the same as that side. Can you see? And that's what we mean by symmetrical. They are both exactly the same. And I'm going to show you how I made this butterfly. Okay, first of all, you fold up a piece of paper. Okay, and then you are going to put this piece of paper on, well, I am actually going to put it on here, but you put it on a table, okay, on a flat surface, and we are going to paint one side of it, okay? Right, so I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? But I'm sure you can do it. So I am going to do a rainbow shape again because I like the rainbow shape. And I know that a lot of you have got rainbows on your windows outside, haven't you? So that when people pass, they can see them. So I'm going to do yellow first. Then I'm going to do red. So make sure that you put quite a lot on, but not to make it runny because then it won't work. Okay, but you've got to put it on quite thick. Excellent. So now I'm going to do green. Now, if you don't have green, don't worry, because you can always mix yellow and blue together to make green. I'd put a little bit more on. Excellent. Okay. Now I'm going to do blue. Put quite a lot on because we don't want, when we fold it up, we want it to go equally on each side, don't we? Okay. Now you can do it more carefully than me, but I'm rushing a little bit because obviously I am videoing it for you, and if I take my time it's going to be a bit boring. Now I'm going to do orange now. Now I haven't got orange, but I've got yellow and red, so I'm going to mix both of those together to make an orange colour, and I'm just going to put it, there we go. How lovely is that? Okay, and if you see, if I turn that around, you can see it's a lovely rainbow. Now, when you've done it on one side, you don't have to do a rainbow. You can do any other patterns you like. You just then turn over, flatten it, and then just rub it down like that. So you're putting pressure onto the paper so that the paint is going on the other side. Okay, and then when you open it up, you should get a lovely pattern symmetrical pattern like this. And can you see that this side is exactly the same as that side? Okay, so next you've got to wait until that dries, because you cannot start cutting it when it's all wet. Okay, it will not work. So then once it is dry, you then have to fold it up again, because what we need to do is we need to cut out a butterfly shape, but it's got to be symmetrical. It's got to be exactly the same. So if we just do it like that and draw a butterfly, this side is not going to be the same as that side. It's very, very hard to do that. So the easiest way to do it is to fold it in half. You can get your adults to help you draw the butterfly shape, okay, the wings, and then you then cut it around. So you're cutting the two sides at the same time, and then when you open it out, you get a beautiful symmetrical butterfly. Okay, now I actually really like mine, and I'm going to put it on my window. So that is another activity. Now, another maths activity is subtracting up to 20. And I know that we did addition a couple of weeks ago. So this week, I'm just going to model how to do the subtraction, okay? So here is my number line that I have done already. And I am going to start with the number 16, okay? So I'm going to imagine I've got 16 sweets. And I am going to eat 5 of them. So they have gone, okay? I'm going to take them away. So the takeaway sign, the minus sign, looks like that. And I'm going to take away 5. Okay, so the quantity is getting less. So I'm going to start with 16. So I need to find 16 on my number line and circle it. So that's where I'm going to start. Now the quantity gets less, so I need to jump backwards. Okay, so you can count with me. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I get to number 11. Now, don't forget you need an equals after this, okay? So it's 16, take away 5 equals 11. I only have 11 sweets left because I have eaten 5. So the quantity is less. I haven't got as many, okay? I'm going to do another one. So I start with 12 this time. Say I've got 12 cars. And I give 7 cars to my friend. Okay, I'm being very, very kind. Okay, so I'm giving 7 cars to my friend. Okay, but I want to know how many cars that I've got now. So I start with the number 12 because I have 12 cars at the beginning. But I'm going to end with less, okay, because I give 7 away. So we know that we've got to jump backwards, and I jump 7. Okay, so 12, I'm starting with 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I get to 5. So I have 5 cars left. Okay, I've been very generous there. Okay, so don't forget, when you do subtracting, you always jump backwards, okay, because the quantity is getting less, okay? That is important. Now, there's lots of other activities to do this week. Another one is all about owl babies, and there's a story for you to listen to and some fun activities there. There's also some pattern activities and lots of other fun things to do. Okay, so I hope that you enjoy learning this week, and I know that all of us in Foundation can't wait to see your work. So I hope that you have a lovely week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.